I'm a little concerned how many PlayStation aficionados don't know PlayStation's business. Some of them know, and they misinterpret everything. They'll literally tell you that down is up and up is down. That's a different kind of PlayStation aficionado. That's like a fanboy who has a conclusion ready and is waiting for everything to just reach that conclusion. You know how they did it on October 4th and October 11th, right? Do you remember? Let me remind you. October 4th and October 11th, these cats, especially in the punditry, ran around, right? And told people that Xbox was pulling its hardware from the market because they weren't selling enough. In fact, they went ahead and took the promotion of a new Microsoft executive, Judson Althoff or so, and claimed that this person was going to be in charge of Xbox hardware and would pull the hardware from the market. The following week, it was a weekend, they jumped with a story that was pretty much from some rando Reddit employees of Walmart and Target that Xbox was pulling its consoles from Target and from Walmart. That weekend, it sent a barrage and a rave of a bunch of people into the Walmarts to go verify that. I myself went in. I've never done anything like that before. I went to 2 Walmarts and I went to a Sam's Club and I spoke with folk all the way out there. And apparently, Sam's Club, who had low stock in the Xbox consoles, was selling it online, and now they even sell the Xbox ROG Ally on there. Walmart and Target are still selling Xbox consoles. So when Microsoft said, well, we're still selling consoles, these guys are our partners, they said it was a lie. And then they tried to mock the people who went in there to go check. That's how we knew that these cats were pretty much lying. And the moment they got exposed, they were vulnerable, and they made a very critical error. They tried to mock the people who went to find the truth. That's when their credibility for the year 2025 was dashed upon a rock like it was glass. And I decided that we were going to create a calendar to catalog these fugazi comments that they were making. And that was just the 2025 October madness. Now there's a new madness going on. The new madness that's going on is that PlayStation is going to backtrack its PC ports from being a thing. And the reason is because they made money from PC. It sounds simplistic, but these people truly believe that that's exactly what's going to happen. Check this out. This user said Halo, Gears, and Forza on PS5. And I said, because money. Who wants to be last place in software? Oh, yeah, that'd be Sony. They said PlayStation is allergic to money. This is GT Vasco. VG, you should already know that. I do. This person said, at this point, there's nothing left to port on PC. Nobody wants Astroflop. And Woke of Yote. Spider-Man 2 flopped on PC because he was woke too. I wouldn't know. I haven't played Ghost of Yote. Spider-Man 2 was crappy, though. I got to tell you, I played that. I didn't beat it. That's how that game was an insult. I just dropped it. I just walked away. I said, this is a stupid game. Just be honest, guys. They had Silver Sable. They had all kinds of people to get the job done, and they took MJ to go start zapping hunters, trained warriors. Those guys fight tigers, and that's what they could put together. What a weak story. That's my biggest criticism for Marvel Spider-Man 2. I don't care about mechanics. Mechanics can go pound sand. This user said, let's just say 1 billion from PC. Look at this. This is the attitude I was about to show you. They said if we were to believe what they said, that's still not even 20% total of what they make yearly. God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man Miles Morales sold better on PlayStation. So what is this person insinuating? That because they made money and the money was not at one percentage, that it's actually nothing to write home about? This is what they've been doing. Now, I'm not going to draw conclusions, but I'm thinking that this is what the reading in between the lines might be saying. This user said 1.5 billion in revenue in 5 years. That must be amazing when they made $7 billion in 1 quarter alone. You see that? Oh, it must be a big deal. Okay, my dude. $250 million a year for a company like PlayStation is not chump change. You know that, right? In fact, if we actually think about it, a service like Game Pass, right, is making close to, $300-400 million because it's making billions of dollars every year, right? It's making 3-4, maybe even, who knows, God forbid. Ooh, that's crazy. $5 billion a month. That's the kind of money that if you didn't have $250 million coming in from somewhere every so-called year, you wouldn't be able to catch. Because again, these guys think that incremental revenue is actually something that is beneath PlayStation. That's what they're saying. That's what I think they're insinuating. That PlayStation, chasing incremental revenue is just not PlayStation-like, because, PlayStation is just all that. They tend to forget that PlayStation's parent company, Sony, is not like Microsoft's parent company. And Sony would like to squeeze out as much revenue from PlayStation as they can. They also tend to forget that not every PlayStation's venture has actually panned out the way they would like for it to pan out. And this is exactly where they're missing the point. Because if PlayStation's incremental revenue approach was actually not there, the so-called 2% of their revenue that they're talking about wouldn't exist. I mean, they made 2.7 or so percent of their revenue from, PC. And these people are complaining, well, so they're going to go ahead, or they're not going to really pursue it, blah, 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 blah. My dude, their revenue will drop by negative 2.7%. If you haven't calculated that math to actually see the implications of that, I really don't know what to tell you. Because what you're saying, or what you're claiming, or what you're trying to foment is this fantasy that 2.7% is not good enough for a company that made, billions of dollars. That's just the weirdest thing ever. You really got to go ahead and rethink your interpretation of the facts that are in front of you. Because when we look at PlayStation and its own interpretation of the facts in front of them, what we see is that they continue to put in more effort into their PC enterprise. They invest more in live service games, which go to PC day one, right? They're hiring people, partner managers. They're hiring people, Nix's developers who are going to be working on making games for PC. In fact, San Diego Studios is currently right now on their job posting. They have a job post for somebody to come in and actually make a game for their next AAA game, which is a PC game. Did you guys know that? That's actually in the works currently. So PlayStation seeing that $250 million a year with used ports. Are you guys listening to me? Used ports. Used ports. You guys aren't listening. You're not hearing me. Used ports. Yes, used ports. Using used ports. These cats, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, don't understand how much of an ROI blessing that is. Like, it's phenomenal. It really is phenomenal. It's such a, can you imagine? Let me see how we're gonna do this. Just imagine right now. Okay, yeah. Hey, let me go ahead and throw this down your way. Let's just say you butchered an animal, right? Let's just say a turkey. Thanksgiving, it's quite appropriate. And after eating and everything, you have maybe say some of the pieces left over, right? And you take those leftover pieces and you go sell them pretty much for, let's say, 20% of the cost that you paid for that turkey. Let's say it was a big bird. You paid, I don't know, $25 for it. And then you go sell it for, $3, $4, $5. That's fantastic. Call it sloppy seconds, call it whatever you want. But you've made money that you otherwise were never going to make at the end of the day. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is what a lot of these folk are insinuating should, encourage PlayStation to forfeit its PC enterprise. What a load of horse manure.